Welcome back to Soil Sage Chronicles, fellow soil whisperers. Today, we're diving into something that sounds almost mythical, but is 100% rooted in nature and science, boosting your soil's immunity. Yes, soil has its own version of an immune system, and just like us, it thrives when it's nourished in the right way. If your plants keep falling victim to disease, your veggies seem more vulnerable than victorious, or your garden just isn't bouncing back the way it should after stress, then your soil's immune system might be calling for reinforcements. And today, we're answering that call with 3 weird but powerful techniques you've probably never thought to use, or never realized could work so well. Let's get a little wild with compost teas, worm poop, and charcoal. Think of compost tea as a living drink for your garden. A probiotic-rich microbial smoothie made from compost, aerated water, and sometimes a little molasses for extra energy. When brewed properly, compost tea is packed with beneficial bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes that bring your soil back to life. Brewing compost tea is part science, part magic. You're not just feeding your plants nutrients, you're injecting your soil with an army of microorganisms that protect roots, fight off pathogens, and improve nutrient absorption. It's a living elixir that boosts the immune response of your entire garden ecosystem. So, I started brewing compost tea out of pure curiosity, and honestly I was shocked by how quickly my garden perked up. My tomatoes got stronger, those annoying leaf spots disappeared, and even my once struggling herbs turned vibrant and lush. The best part? It's incredibly easy to make at home with materials you likely already have. Alright, here's how to brew your own. First, grab a 5-gallon bucket and fill it with non-chlorinated water. Next, add 1 or 2 cups of high-quality compost. Vermicompost works best, by the way. Then, toss in a tablespoon of molasses to feed the microbes. After that, use an aquarium air pump to aerate the mixture for about 24 to 36 hours. Finally, just apply it to your soil or as a foliar spray, fresh and alive. If compost tea is the smoothie, then worm castings are definitely the superfood. Don't let the humble appearance fool you. Worm poop is actually one of the most nutrient-dense, immune-boosting substances you can add to your soil. Worm castings are the byproduct of worms digesting organic material. They contain a concentrated blend of enzymes, beneficial bacteria, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and trace minerals. But here's the kicker. They also contain plant growth hormones and natural disease suppressants. I call it black magic in a scoop. When added to your soil, worm castings do more than feed your plants. They enrich your soil microbiome, improve structure, enhance moisture retention, and build resilience against root rot, fungal infections, and nutrient stress. The bacteria in worm castings colonize the root zone, outcompeting harmful pathogens before they even get a chance to cause problems. I sprinkle a handful into every planting hole, flowers, fruits, herbs, everything. Even my potted plants get a dose every month. The results? Thicker stems, shinier leaves, and noticeably fewer pest and disease issues. Pro tip: if you're serious about long-term soil health, start a worm bin. Not only will you reduce kitchen waste, but you'll also have an endless supply of this black gold. Let's talk about the weirdest one of them all, biochar. It looks like charcoal, but it's actually an ancient soil amendment dating back to the Amazonian terra preta soils, which remain fertile even centuries later. Biochar is a type of charcoal made by burning organic material in a low-oxygen environment, which is a process called pyrolysis. On its own, it doesn't provide nutrients, but what it does offer is an extraordinary boost to your soil's structure, water retention, and microbial housing. Think of biochar as a condo complex for soil microbes. Its porous structure gives bacteria and fungi a place to live, thrive, and multiply, exactly what your soil needs to build strong immunity. It also locks in nutrients and water, making them more available to plants during dry spells or heavy rains. So, I started adding biochar to my raised beds last year, and honestly, not only did I notice fewer signs of stress during dry weather, but the plants themselves just seemed, well, smarter, responding faster to fertilization and bouncing back quicker from pest damage. Now if you're wondering how to use it, always charge your biochar before applying. Soak it in compost tea, worm castings, or a diluted organic fertilizer to infuse it with life. Mix it into your garden soil at about 5 to 10% of the total volume. It's long-lasting. Biochar can remain active in soil for hundreds of years, and it acts as a slow-release immune booster, constantly supporting your garden's underground ecosystem. The truth is, your soil is not just dirt, it's alive. When we treat it like a living organism, its natural immune system kicks in. The techniques we've covered, compost tea, worm castings, and biochar, are weird, yes, but they work because they nourish the invisible community that makes healthy growth possible. And the best part? These methods are completely natural, low-cost, and beginner-friendly. Whether you're working with raised beds, backyard plots, or container gardens, these weird ways can turn tired soil into a thriving, self-defending ecosystem. Soil Sage Chronicles tip: start small, observe, adapt. Here on Soil Sage Chronicles we always say, start with one bed, one technique, and observe. Watch how your soil responds. Every garden is different, and part of being a true soil sage is learning to read those subtle changes. Experiment with a batch of compost tea this week. Add a handful of worm castings to your herbs. Sprinkle some biochar into your tomato bed. See what happens. Record it. Adjust. Grow wiser with your soil every season. Weird doesn't mean wrong. In the garden, it often means ahead of its time. These methods may sound unconventional, but they are grounded in ancient wisdom and backed by soil science. If you've made it this far, your garden is lucky to have you. Let's keep learning, experimenting, and growing together. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this a thumbs up, and share it with your garden tribe. Drop a comment below, and tell me which of these methods you're going to try first, or share your own weird soil secrets. Until next time, stay rooted and wise. Soil Sage Chronicles.